just make sure you bear with me on this vlog, because it's not going to be the best vlog, but it is always a show on theme parks and attractions. 1 hour at Legoland. What can I get done?
This is Legoland. Please come. It's a great time. You can meet people like me. Absolutely amazing service.
Yeah, lots of people are flocking out, but I'm flocking in. What can I get done in 1 hour? We'll have to find out. Love a bit of Legoland. Now, it is August at the moment, so it probably will be slightly busy, but just like any time that you do actually visit, it will be a lot less busy in that final hour, so we'll have to see what we can get on. What is your favourite ride at Legoland? Probably the Dragon and Flight of the Skyline for me. I'm not too sure. I probably won't be getting on Flight of the Skyline today, that's for sure. I'm 100% of that one, for obvious reasons, but I'll try and get 3 or 4 rides in, maybe, we'll have to see. And then I'll have a little look around Miniland. We'll have to find out. Well, with 55 minutes left to go, minifigure is actually queued out of the station, so I won't be going on that one today. Yeah, to be fair, I wasn't expecting to get on minifigure, the Dragon or Flight of the Skyline, because if you do go on one of those rides, you'll probably be left with about 15-20 minutes, not even that. So let's see what else there is. Trying to manoeuvre a little bit. Miniland, it's a little bit better around here. But yeah, everyone's obviously coming out of the park now. They're checking out Miniland. Do you actually go in Miniland during the day, or do you leave it till the end of the day? Drop me a comment in the comment section. Probably getting here a bit later. They've got lots of bubbles around here. Well, you know it's a busy one when there's just over 50 minutes left and there's a 30-minute wait on Duplo. You know it's busy. Well, you know it's August when that happens, don't you? Even the park's rammed over there. Just a heads up, obviously the water parks have been closed, but they are actually open now because obviously it's the summer holidays, and both of them are actually in operation. You can actually see the water flowing. Because it's not just me here today, I'm actually going to be going on Fairy Tale Brook. It looks to be 5-10 minutes. So yeah, not too bad. Let's get on here. There we go, look at this. You got him in there, and then you've got the random pigeon. I seem to be forever on this ride. Obviously, if you've seen my last few vlogs, I always come on this ride, but usually there's a small wait on it, and I'm not usually by myself either. I'm usually with family, so yeah, I always come on this. It's a decent ride, to be fair, but like I said, if I was going to queue for something like Minifigure Speedway, that would practically be it. I mean, there's 55 minutes, you saw what the queue's like. Even Duplo's got a 30-minute wait on it, so I'll tell you what, I have always loved this indoor section here. Yeah, it reminds me of a garden centre with all of the lighting in it. Looks like something they'd have in a little garden centre. What actually reminds me of it is this little waterfall over here. Obviously, you go to the garden centres and you can buy one of these nice little fountains. It's a decent one, to be fair. You've got the water coming out the there. What's going on here? This scene always reminds me of my channel, Fairy Tale. Never resist those bad jokes, can I? And then the most suspect scene in any part of Legoland. First ride done, let's go and see what the second ride is. Now, Coast Guard HQ is currently on 50 minutes. I always come on Coast Guard normally. Now, what I find is it's best leaving it till the last 5 minutes of the day. It doesn't matter what the wait time is, because they'll always let you have your ride. Obviously, if you get into the queue line just before the park shuts. But yeah, heading towards Monsters House Party. I'll check that out. Well, I thought I'd be able to get on Monsters House Party, but it's 55 minutes with 40 minutes left. 55. Yeah, Deep Sea Adventure is also one of my favourites as well. It's on a 35-minute wait at the moment. See, I haven't got long. Obviously, you've got to wait to actually get in there, and then it's the ride as well, and then you have to come out of there and then walk to wherever you're going. So I'm probably going to get one more ride in. I've literally had one ride. It's more about just, you know, taking it in. I'll probably have a look around Miniland, and I might even have a look in the shop for you on the way out. I'm not too sure, but I'm probably going to go on Coast Guard as the last ride. Now, I've got to say this, the park shuts at 5 o'clock today on a Saturday in August, which is absolutely shocking. I mean, you've got nearly an hour queue in Monsters House Party, and they're shutting it at 5 o'clock. You don't get that over Europe or anywhere else, do you? And it's crazy. Just so Merlin can save on the wages, they've got their tickets, they've got the people in, haven't they? And they spent the money. 5 o'clock. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comment section. In my opinion, probably the worst opening hours in the world that I can think of on a Saturday or any weekend or even any day in the summer holidays. The park should be open till 7-8 o'clock. It's as simple as that. It's got to be open to at least 7. It's not even open till 6, it's 5 o'clock. I already knew that before I was coming in here, but you know, seeing the queues in here, 55 minutes with less than half hour to go, you can just appreciate how bad those hours are. Just in the sensory experience now, I can't get on any rides because they're all at, you know, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Merlin needs to change those hours, they really do. It's absolutely disgraceful, it really is on a Saturday, and I've said it. I mean, what more could you say? I already knew I was going to only have an hour in here, but I'll tell you what, if I was actually coming down here for the day, travelling a long way down here and sitting in an hour queue in that last 20-25 minutes, I would not be very happy with that at all. They need to change the hours. As I keep saying, you don't get that from anywhere else. Merlin, obviously we all know they're cutting costs, aren't they? But there's another way of doing it, isn't there? There's ways of generating money, and this isn't the way of generating money, just to save on an hour or two of wages. Don't worry, no more rides until the last ride of the day, but we do have this over here. Do you agree with me on what I've been saying about Merlin and the stupid hours? It's pathetic, isn't it, really? It has to be said. I'm not going to just, you know, not say anything about it. 5 o'clock on a Saturday, ha 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 ha. What a joke. Well, the queue's gone down, can you believe it? To 50 minutes. Oh my word. Tell you what, you wouldn't get this at Thorpe Park, would you? At the Hyperion queue line, it'd be all flowing over. Well done, Legoland. I've never ever waited more than about 10 minutes for this ride, but yeah, I'm getting in the queue for it, why not? Usually I'd go on Coast Guard HQ, but today I'm going on this. I'll tell you what, at least the queue's actually moving. One thing I've actually enjoyed on this ride is the soundtrack. It's got a really catchy soundtrack, and to be fair, I do like the ride. That's what picked it ahead of Coast Guard today. Got a bit of queue entertainment here. Well, I was praising them about the bins. Maybe I shouldn't have been. What a load of rubbish. You got the bees flying around. Merlin, when will you ever learn? I've nearly made it and I'm buzzing for it, so let's get in there. So I've just had a little chat with the staff member over there, and she said, I said it's actually 5:10 at the moment, and I said don't the park shut at 5? She said yes it does, but they've got staggered closes 5:15 to 5:30 that the queue line does shut. So you don't usually get staggered closes. Usually, I mean, I come to the parks a lot. I've had it a couple of times, but obviously it states on the website it's 5 o'clock, so quite a few people have obviously headed out not realising that it's actually staggered, and they could have maybe 1 or 2 more rides, probably 1 with the queues how it's being. But just a heads up for you, if you are visiting, it's not actually 5, even though it says on the website. But this will probably be my last ride. By the time I get off of here, I don't think Coast Guard is going to be open, but I will take a look for you. Staggered closes. Right, I'm going to enjoy Monster's House Party, and I'll see you afterwards. Da, 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 da. There we go, that was Monster's House Party. I've seen it all now because I was actually in there for 3-4 minutes. There was a pregnant woman, and obviously the lap bar was coming down. It was crazy. She was heavily pregnant on there, and it kept rejecting it because obviously it's going over her belly. And obviously the staff were advising her not to go on. She wanted to try several times, so it happened 3 or 4 times where the bar obviously kept touching the belly. Bearing in mind this woman was very heavily pregnant. I've seen it all today, I really have. It was 3 or 4 times that the bar actually come back up because of it, and then the staff member, I actually spoke out because I had to. Obviously you can't say certain things, but it was ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it before. And the staff afterwards actually said, yeah, I'm not really comfortable with you going on there, health and safety. And the woman just got up and walked out, and all of the other people that she was actually with got their cameras out and they was taking photos, the ride was being stopped. And I've just, some people, it's unbelievable. You know, if you are heavily pregnant, you don't go on these type of rides. You can go on Coast Guard HQ or something like that. I mean, would you go on these type of rides if you are heavily pregnant and the bar's obviously coming down? It would crush the baby, obviously, if it's that tight. Some people, seriously, I've seen it all. You've got to be careful what you say, haven't you? But there's certain things you don't do. And yeah, the time is around 20 past 5 now. And obviously the queue line is actually closed now. Yeah, staggered openings. 5:15 to 5:30 some rides, just a heads up for you. So I suppose if you are in the queue, you know, 5:15, 5:20, you might get your ride, which would take you to, you know, after 6 o'clock, something like that. I'm actually a bit upset I didn't get on Coast Guard today. I've always come on Coast Guard HQ when visiting Legoland, but I wanted to get on Monsters House Party. I was actually in the mood for it. And I was with other people, they wanted to check out Monsters House Party, so that's what we did. But yeah, that's one of the strangest experiences I've ever had on a ride. I've never ever seen that before. The woman, in my opinion, was probably 7 months pregnant, just to give you a heads up. She might have been more. And she was just laughing and joking about it when she actually got up. And I'll tell you what, all of the faces around me, they were not happy. Obviously, it doesn't matter about waiting. You know, I'm happy waiting half hour in the actual, on the ride. But I'll tell you what, there was a lot of unhappy faces on that ride with actually what was happening. You know, people don't mind waiting, but when you are doing it, I'll tell you what, look at this down here. Need to get that clean, don't they? Yeah, the bins in that queue line, I was actually praising them. If you actually went towards the vlog, I said at least they, you know. Now, if you do go to Fort Park or any Merlin park, well, Fort Park specifically, I spoke with several staff members and the cleaners aren't allowed. I've spoken with cleaners, I've spoken to a lot of people. The cleaners aren't allowed, no matter how busy it is, no matter what time of the year. If those bins are chock-a-block and full up and they're actually all over the floor, the cleaners are not allowed in that queue line until after close, which is ridiculous because, you know, they can have that policy in my opinion. Like I said in the Hyperia vlog, they can have that policy, but on the busier times when, you know, a staff member can actually see it's actually overflowing to the queue line. That wasn't too bad. There wasn't much rubbish. There was a little bit of rubbish just before me, but when rubbish is actually overflowing into the queue line, and there's all bees more specifically, it needs to get clean. They need to get the cleaners in, even if it's not the cleaner's fault. It's a Merlin policy, and I've said it before. At the Hyperia queue line, it's happened. It always happens at the end of the day on the busier days. It always happens, and it shouldn't, because obviously that puts a dampener on the quality of the park, really, doesn't it? If you're going to see full up bins and all rubbish, you're walking in rubbish, as I say, swimming in rubbish, it's not a good thing. You come to these theme parks to have a good time. You don't expect that, do you? And you can, you know, you can forgive them if they're getting rushed off their feet and they're trying their best. You're going to get some bins that are overfilled around certain parks, but when their policy is to never ever clean the bins during normal hours, it's unacceptable. But I'll tell you what, forget the bins for a second, because I was talking about that. What I actually did see, and it is unbelievable. The bin bag here. Oh, they're hot on it now, they really are. I mean, is it me going on about those two, well, the 3 subjects? Firstly, the opening hours, shocking from the park. You know, I've got to say these things. If I see something like this, see certain things I don't like, I've got to come out with them. I'm not going to not say anything, otherwise there's no vlog. You know, certain people don't say certain things. I'm going to say them. I'll say it how it is. And like I said, the opening hours, the overfilled bins, and stupidness from certain people. Only one person. It's almost laughable. 5 o'clock openings at Legoland Windsor, with a bit of staggered on top, which you're not sure about. I'll tell you what, everyone is soaking in these views at Miniland. It's great to see, but it's also not so great to see because, yeah, on a day like this, people, you know, I don't know what to say really. I don't know what to say. You already know what's happening with Merlin at the moment and all of the problems, all of the financial problems. And if they want to do reduced hours off season, you can understand, but August weekend, it is sad to see. I mean, everyone's having a good time out here, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't want to be negative all the time, but there's going to be vlogs where I'm going to say certain problems around the park. That's what a vlog is for. You're not here to say everything's great. You're going to say problems, things that need improving. And I love Legoland. It's one of my favourite parks in the whole of the UK. It's in the top 3 for me of my favourite parks in the whole of the UK. It's just so sad to see. It's a lovely day out, it really is. It is very sad to see, but like I said, for me it doesn't really matter. I was only in here for an hour. I thought, get in here for an hour, see what I can do. Wasn't expecting to get on much. It's the summer holidays. Before I get any comments saying, you know, you're rocking in here last hour in the summer holidays, what do you expect? Well, don't expect the park, even though I did because I come in here. I don't expect parks like this to be open till 5 o'clock on a Saturday, and I don't expect to see certain things that I've seen today, but that's not the park's fault. I mean, what do you think in that situation? Should the staff have, you know, spoken out? That they were trying to get her on several times, but you know, if I was in charge of the park, I would have said something. If I was one of those staff members, I would have said something a little bit sooner. But that's the day and age we are in at the moment. You know, certain people don't want to say certain things, do they? For obvious reasons. But there comes a time when you have to speak out about these things. You know, there's silly and then there's stupid, and that's what today's been. But I've had a good day. I've had a good day here. Beats staying indoors, doesn't it? So I always have a good day at Legoland, no matter what happens here. It's always a laugh, that's for sure. Well, at least it's not a watered down vlog, eh? So the time currently is 6:02, an hour after park close, and look at this queue for the shop. Now when you do come here, not in the summer holidays, I've come here, you know, I have the last ride on Coast Guard HQ, and then I come to this and it's usually shut, they turn you away. But fair play to them, they're keeping the shop open, and I wonder why that is. It's all very well taking your money, isn't it? But they won't open the park and give you the hours that they should, but they're happy taking your money, and that's typical Merlin for you. I hope that improves the opening hours next year, but we all know differently, don't we? Money, money, money. As Dolly Parton would say, working 9 to 5, because that's all Merlin does give you, even in the peak months. What a way to make a living. Now my microphone's off at the moment, but I thought I'd wrap the vlog up and show you the brand new entrance at Legoland. Now this looks really, really good from Legoland. What they've done there is top notch, it really is. And I can't wait, obviously, for all of this to open. Obviously, it's the work walls at the moment. But that entrance, it looks really, really good. I had to end the vlog on a good point, because I have said a lot of negative things today. Probably more negative things than I've ever said at Legoland. And I don't like to criticise the park, because I love the park, but it's got to be said, some of these points. One of the points isn't the park's fault. But hopefully Merlin sort out their problems in the future, because if you've enjoyed it, give me a big thumbs up, drop me a subscribe, and drop me a comment. What do you think of the points that I've made? Has it been too negative, or do you appreciate me being honest? And do you agree with the things that I've said? Anyway, like I said, I've had an hour in here, and I've had a decent time here. I've had a laugh here, let's just say that. And I'll see you in the next one. Not an hour anyway, about 2 hours, an hour of the rides. But yeah, really enjoyed getting on those 2 rides. They're 2 good rides, you know. They are more family style rides, but like I said, I didn't want to get on a roller coaster and take the whole hour up and then have to leave after 1 ride. I only had 2 rides though, but I'll tell you what, that Monsters House party was worth queuing up for that experience anyway, because it was comical. I'll see you in the next one. Love all of the audio around it. I'll tell you what, everything is awesome. Is the best soundtrack in my opinion of a theme park. Clean your bins though, clean your bins. See you later. Don't let these points that I've made put you off, because it's a great park here at Legoland. I always come back here. One of my favourites in the UK, if not my favourite. I love Legoland. See you later. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool and awesome.